I learned a ton of lessons hosting the Follow My Lead podcast in 2017. In an effort to help you in 2018 on your leadership journey, I've pulled together my 9 favorite lessons that I learned from over 50 episodes of the show with 40 guests and over 200,000 downloads. Here's number 1 from Pat Lencioni. He said, "A person who is humble, hungry, and smart adds value to a team in any environment." What Pat calls the ideal team player is spot on. The question you have to ask yourself is, are the people on my team, are the people that we're hiring, are they humble, are they hungry, and are they smart? The second lesson comes from Jon Gordon. He said, "Great leaders believe in their people and hold them to a high standard in order to get the best performance out of them." Jon is the positive leadership guy, and he's dead on. Great leaders believe in their people. And then they set high standards, what we define in the Welder Leader program as defining what good looks like. So then their people that they already believe in can then choose to meet and exceed those standards. The third lesson comes from Howard Behar. He said, "Values are developed by what you reward, recognize, and talk about." The former Starbucks president is dead on. Core values might be the most underrated thing any leader gets right. And all they are what the leader rewards, recognizes, and talks about. What are the things that you reward, recognize, and talk about with your team? And greed can be one of them. The next lesson comes from Bob Berg. He said, "The single greatest people skill is an authentic interest in another person." Bob is dead on. How often do we start talking to someone or even a member of our team and we really don't care what's going on in their life? It's a huge problem, and it's a great opportunity for any leader to think when they start talking about someone, do I really care about what they're about to say? And ensure that that answer is yes. The next lesson comes from Brian Kite. He said, "Leaders create the culture that drive behavior, which produces the results." One of the best lessons any leader can understand is how important culture is to the success of their team or organization. Brian, the president of Focus 3, nails this. Culture produces the behaviors which ultimately produce the results. Don't make the mistake of not being absolutely sure of what the culture you want to have as a leader is. The next lesson comes from Casey Crawford, the CEO of Movement Mortgage, and he said, "Build a company you truly want to work for, one that loves and serves people." Casey's done an incredible job at Movement Mortgage, over 4,000 person company. And he said, "I spend more time with the people at work than I do my own family. So why wouldn't I want to create a place that I want to come to work every single day?" It's such a simple idea, but it's one most CEOs simply get wrong. The next lesson comes from Jimmy Collins. He said, "Make decisions to become the person you aspire to be." The third corporate employee at Chick-fil-A, the 81-year-old legend, is dead on. It's maybe the best lesson I learned all year. Have that person in your mind that you aspire to be. And then you can ask yourself, are the decisions I'm making and the behaviors that I'm choosing every single day reflecting me becoming that person? Can someone younger than you look at you in 10 or 15 years and say, that's the person I aspire to be? Incredible lesson. The next lesson comes from Bob Bodine. He said, transfer belief to your kids every single day by saying, you are going to do great and mighty things. This comes from an old Jewish tradition where the father would lay his hands on his children's head, and that's what he would say. You are going to do great and mighty things. Transferring belief into that young child. Every parent, no matter how old your kids are, it will be a powerful moment if you lay your hands on your kids' heads and say, you are going to do great and mighty things. I make it a daily practice. I hope you will as well. The last lesson comes from David Marquette. He said, great leaders want decisions to be made where the information is. No leader can know everything. And the great leaders know that their people are where the information is. So their people have to be empowered to make decisions in the moment where the information is. There you have it. 9 of my favorite lessons from the Follow My Lead podcast in 2017. I hope that these lessons will help make 2018 your best leadership year ever.